You're listening to Crusader Chronicles episode 60, featuring Amazing Spider-Man number 204 and X-Men number 133 from February 1980.
Nifty 60, baby.
Woo! Hello and welcome to the 60th episode of Crusader Chronicles podcast. Woo!
Nifty 60, baby.
Can you believe it? 60 episodes.
Woo!
Woo!
We're halfway to 100.
Wow. I'm your host, Pat, a.k.a. DJ Christatos. Let me tell you about Crusader Chronicles is. It's the 60th episode, so I'd say for the last 59 episodes, Crusader Chronicles has been a podcast that will journal the comic book issues read chronologically by the release date from my comic book collection, either in the digital, in a trade, or from the many long boxes stashed away in my basement. Each episode will provide short recaps, reviews, and ratings of the issues for that release date. The goal is to keep me actively reading through my collection and having some fun along the way, talking about them with my friends. And hey, here's some friends that have been with me for all 60 of them. Can you believe that?
Nifty 60, baby.
Yeah. We are here at 60. I would never thought we'd be here when we did Crusader Chronicles episode 1.
Wow. I didn't think we'd get to episode 2.
Well, come on. I figured we would get somewhere, but I just, it's a good feeling. I'm happy.
It is. I'm proud to be here.
Yeah.
Same.
That's awesome. We've seen a lot of comics come, a lot of comics go, a lot of story developments, a lot of different things happening. It has definitely been a fun trip. But I'm getting way ahead of myself here, but let's go ahead and talk to my friends who are here. And with me, we have Jarrod Albrecht, a.k.a. Death Probe.
Yes, Pat. In honor of our 60th, which I, again, am proud to be part of. 60, baby. Nifty 60.
Woo!
I've decided on this episode, usually, I do a bit from one of the comics we're going to read. Not doing a bit tonight. You know what I've decided?
Oh.
After 60 episodes of tomfoolery and shenanigans and whatnot, that this is the episode where I'm just going to be super nice to Delvin. I'm going to agree with everything Delvin says. I'm going to support every one of Delvin's ideas. I'm going to amplify, his thoughts and just be the best friend I can be to him.
You pick him up. Yeah.
Yeah. This is Delvin's episode. I'm going to pick him up.
That's awesome. Maybe we should all do that.
If I started a trend, I start a trend.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. I think that'd be really awesome to do, especially for Delvin. He's so quiet. I don't know why he's so quiet right now, but soak it all in, Delvin. Soak it all in. Before we get to that, let's go ahead and talk to Jason, the Weasel Skull Albrecht.
Well, hey, Pat. Hey, Jarrod. Happy New Year. First recording of the new year.
Oh, good.
Glad to be here. Let me in, man. Let me in, man. What's Treetop Tommy? He's banging on the window out there.
Oh, Tommy, I miss him.
Tommy, what are you doing out there? Man, you guys had me taking down the lights off the roof, and you left me out here, man. You forgot about me. Tommy, honestly, I didn't even know you still lived here. Man, did Pat send you up there to get those lights? You know he did, man. And I was here during that New Year's episode. I was banging on this window, man, but there was so much ruckus going on in there with your party and everything.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Please, man. Give us some hot cocoa and maybe some Ewok jerky.
We can do that. I feel bad for Tommy a little bit, but is this what he does? Does he just...
That's what I thought we were paying it for.
That's what everybody thinks. This is what Tommy does. This is what Tommy does. Just because it's my job does not mean it's my life, man.
Laurel, can you give me the job role for Tommy?
You know what? I don't think Laurel's here, but I'm positive we could put this in Delvin's capable hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, Delvin, see if you can find the position description for Treetop Tommy, would you? Thanks. Man, screw you guys. I swear to I deserve more respect, man. I'm going back up to the attic now. Y'all have a good show.
All right. See you later, Tommy.
Later on, Tommy.
Thanks for stopping by.
Only lost 3 toes.
3-toe Tommy.
3-toe Tommy. Oh,
Ooh, I feel really bad. Anyway, good to be here, Pat. Jeez,
Yeah,
I
it's good to
forgot
have you.
all about him being out there.
Yeah, he's protecting the LBC HQ, so he does a good job. Maybe next Crusade Miss, maybe we get him a little something extra in his stocking. Oh,
Some toes.
yeah,
Some hand warmers.
little weenie Franks to maybe fill in those parts of the stock.
Cocktail Franks for his toe.
I like those cocktail frags. Honestly, if you leave those lying around, I'll probably eat those.
Anyway, all right. Well, with that, that's the show. It's just the 3 of us.
Old school. Nifty 60, baby.
School, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's weird, man. Just the 3 of us, like the old days.
Just to, if you're listening, I mean, Delvin hasn't quit the show, I don't think. He's still part of the team, I think. If not, we'll have a Delvin on the show. I'll tell you how much for nothing.
We do know another Delvin. That is true. So
We always keep a spare Delvin in our back pocket.
But I'm building him up. Anything he has to say on this episode, I'm supporting him.
Yep. Sounds like a great idea to do. So we will miss you, Delvin. Hopefully you'll get back with us and we can work out the arrangement and agreements to have you back on the show. Anyway.
If you want to be part of the shenanigans that you heard here, give us a voicemail. All right. That's a real thing that we have. You can leave us a message at 707-532-5269, 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone.
Now, before we get started with this episode's issues, let's go ahead and take a quick podcast promo break, and we will be right back.
Nifty 60.
Hey everybody, Clinton Robinson here. I recently attempted to sneak into the LONGBOX CRUSADE headquarters basement to watch some of the Albrecht Brothers action movies while the crew was out at the Saturday matinee theater. Too bad I had a little mishap and got stuck down here, with no movies to boot. However, there are pieces of Pat's old podcasting equipment and excellent Wi-Fi service. So I decided to pass the time watching online fan films and talking about them. What, you don't know what a fan film is? Well, there are these non-theatrical movies that people post online of already established characters and settings. Hey now. Just wait and see. Save all judgment for what happens when you listen to Fan Film Fridays, a new podcast found on the LONGBOX CRUSADE podcast feed.
Welcome back from the break. Now let's get to the first featured comic for this episode, and it is Amazing Spider-Man number 204. The credits for this issue are provided by Mike's Amazing World of Comics website. Publisher was Marvel. It's got a cover date of May 1980, but its on-sale date was February 12th, 1980. Cover price is 40 cents. Editor, it was Marv Wolfman. Writer, Marv Wolfman.
Oh.
Hello. Penciler, Keith Pollard.
Layouts.
Inker. Meh. That's it.
I'm not budging on this. He did layouts again.
Inker is Pablos Marcos. Letterer is Rick L. Parker. And colorist is Roger Sifler. Silfer.
Well,
Right?
Sliffer, but
Sliffer? What did I say?
do
wrong?
we care? Do we really care? Because we know who it's not.
Yes, no
No Glennis.
Glennis. Conrad Bad. Well, reprints. You can read along with us in Spider-Man versus the Black Cat trade paperback, or Essential Spider-Man Volume 9, or the Marvel Masterworks Volume 268 featuring Amazing Spider-Man Volume 20, or on Marvel Unlimited. Cover credits go to penciler John Romita Jr. with inks from Alan Milgram. Speaking about the cover, let's get a cover description from Jarrod.
Thank you, Pat. I agree with Delvin. Here we go. Cover description. The Marvel Comics Group banner is light blue with black letters like a tropical thunder of colors. Spidey swings in a matching blue corner box. The Amazing Spider-Man logo is a crackling color X of yellow and red highlights. The main action shows our web-headed hero having a Diablo of a time, getting pummeled by a bunch of vases and pottery as the black cat swings, happy as a fat cat in the background. A cover blurb reads, "Thought she'd be easy to nab, didn't you, Spidey? But you forgot. She's the black cat." And I will be insanely impressed if you got the theme tonight. If Delvin was here, he would have got it.
I was going to say, is it one that I have a chance for? Probably not.
I was actually being sarcastic. I'm supporting Delvin on this episode, but I don't think he would have got it either.
Okay.
I don't got it. I don't got it.
Okay. Tropical Thunder, Crackling Color X, Diablo, and Fat Cat are the 4 top-selling fireworks from the Black Cat Firework Company. I looked
wow.
up on the internet.
Totally blowing my mind.
I went to blackcatfireworks.com. I clicked what are your best sellers, and those are the top 4. And I was like, I'm working them in.
Wow, I would never piece that together.
I like that dedication, though. That's
hardcore.
That's the kind of arts and crafts you get here in Longbox Studios.
Wait till you get to my X-Men cover description.
Wow, that's like a build-up for the last 59 episodes to get there. Just to see your crafting.
That's right. 59 episodes ago, I lit the fuse, and today
this is the grand finale.
I'm at awe. Wow. Well, with that, let's go ahead and get into some quick cover thoughts. And we will start with Delvin.
A trash can.
I agree with Delvin. I think that's good insights.
Jason, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I like it. Obviously, we got our first intro to Black Cat a little while back. So to see her back gracing this cover is pretty cool. I like the action pose. There's a lot of mayhem. A lot of energy on it. It looks like Spider-Man's in a bit of trouble. Colors look good. All in all, I think this is a pretty impressive cover. What do you think, Jarrod?
I mostly agree with you. The only detractors for me is I don't know if it's because I'm using Marvel Unlimited and it's been recolored, but Black Cat her skin tone is too dark. And I don't know if that's across the board or whatever, but her skin tone is almost gray on mine. And I'm like, I don't really like that. But and she also has crazy eyes in her smile. Something about her face just doesn't work well for me. It's got them crazy eyes.
Well, there's some things in this story that we'll get to, I think, as well. So,
but I also recognize the fact that she's a relatively new character, so no one's got a bead on her yet. So I'm willing to overlook those. But other than that, yeah, it's a perfectly good, serviceable cover, and it's John Romita Jr. on Spider-Man, so that's good times. What do you think, Pat?
I do kind of agree with you. I'm missing the webs.
Oh, I missed that in my cover description. Good call, Pat. No webs.
No webs.
I was so proud of that firecracking description that I missed that.
That one just whistled right by it, didn't it?
Got me. Good one, Pat.
Yes. Woo. I did a good one. Like, oh, that was a dud.
Yeah, no webs, Pat. Good catch.
Yeah, and I think that's what kind of I miss that, but I think also kind of just makes this the background of it just kind of just but definitely Black Cat and Spider-Man, they're looking pretty good, and the colors. I don't see the gray on mine, so
she's just a little gray. You know how you put that hamburger in the fridge and it's been there just a little too long? That's
What are you saying? She's never mind.
I don't know. Do you see the crazy eyes though?
I do. Now that you mention it, I do see the crazy. Her eyes to like a side, and she's got these like crazy eyes going on. Just a weird smile on her face or something. I don't know. But color wise, it's not too bad for me. I think with that, why don't we go ahead and get into some quick cover ratings? Just as a reminder, it's a 1 through 5 rating here on Crusader Chronicles. 5 is you loved it. It tickled your tummy feathers. 4, you really liked it. 3, liked it. 2, didn't like it. And 1, you hated it. It ruffled your tummy feathers. So, Jason, 1 through 5 on the cover.
I think I'll go with a 3. I think it's good, solid. Not in the elite status, like I said, like the reappearance of the Black Cat. Jarrod pointed out some things, and you pointed out some things. And as I look at it, come scoring time, I think I'm going to land on a 3 here.
All right. Delvin?
A trash can.
I agree 100% with what Delvin just said.
Yeah, he's got it.
And Jarrod?
And I'm going to completely agree with Delvin, of course, and echo what Jason said. It does its job. It's not super standout. It's not terrible. It's a 3. No complaints, 3.
I'm going to agree with all of you guys. It is a 3 as well for me. It's good. I can't lower it because of the art. It's a decent cover. Sticking at a 3. I liked it. It does intrigue me to see how the Black Cat survived, and I want to find that out. And I think the only way we can is to get a story synopsis from Jason.
Well, I don't know if I can help you figure out how she survived with my story synopsis.
It's like I don't remember that part of the story either.
Because I think I was still left wondering, but here we go.
While attending a demonstration in radiology, high school student Peter Parker was bitten by a spider which had accidentally been exposed to radioactive rays. Through a miracle of science, Peter soon found that he had gained the spider's powers and had, in effect, become a human spider, a Spider-Man.
Stanley presents The Amazing Spider-Man.
The title is The Black Cat Always Lands on Her Feet. Well, well, well. It looks like the Black Cat survived. Our story begins with Spidey on patrol and helping the police stop some armed thugs. As his day progresses, however, our intrepid hero thwarts a theft at the Guggenheim. The culprit? None other than the Black Cat herself. Although Spider-Man prevents the theft, the Black Cat gets away. Returning to his day job, Peter pays a visit to the Bugle, only to find Robbie has gone full J. Jonah Jameson. His social life isn't going much better as Flash sets him up with a perfect match, but Peter finds out that she's his student. Meanwhile, Jonah is wandering the streets with amnesia and encounters a mysterious Jonas Harrow. What's his angle? And in the final act, the Black Cat makes another attempt to steal a statue from the Guggenheim. Spider-Man, once again, tries to intervene, but this time is bested by Black Cat, who gets away with her prize. Lots of goings-on in this issue, fellas. Back to you, Pat.
Thank you, Jason, for that recap. And there is a lot of stuff going on, so I think we have a lot to kind of discuss. So let's go ahead and get into the bric-a-brac. Is it a first read or a reread? We'll start with Jarrod.
First read for me, Pat.
Jason.
Also a first read.
Delvin?
A trash can.
I agree with that, Delvin. Well, that makes it a reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. We got ourselves a reading rainbow. I love it. Let's get into some high lows and what does. Jarrod, you got a high low or what the?
I have a low that became a high.
You're patented low to high.
In the story. Oh, wait, let me start with a low. Polar did layouts again. Okay, now that we got that off the books. In the story, there was moments where the Black Cat would cast a shadow that looked like a cat. And at first I was like, and then I realized that every time they used that trick, it was her bad luck powers at work. And I was like, oh, that went from dumb to brilliant pretty fast. So I was like, oh, that's clever. So I like that. I ended up liking it.
That's what I was starting to get confused on is we didn't see that the last time we saw her.
No, again, she's new, so they're developing her now. And I don't think they're going to keep that because I remember reading Black Cat stories in the future and I don't remember that, but I thought it was kind of a neat little visual cue for this episode. So I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
I liked it too. It was like, it's kind of similar to Spider-Man Spider Sense, something that you can visually see when it's going on. You can kind of visually see when this power's being enacted. I thought that was a cool little gimmick.
I just didn't understand how she was doing it.
Well, that was going to be mine too, Pat, and I wish Delvin were here because maybe he could explain. I was wondering, is she a mutant, kind of like Longshot, where Longshot has the power of luck? She kind of has the reverse of that, can make people unlucky. Is there some sort of magical item or totem that she has that gives her this power? What is the source of this power? How does it come about?
I've read a lot of Spidey myself, and Delvin would probably be the better expert. I don't remember how she had acquired it, but I want to say it's almost like a passive power. Like it just happens around her.
All right.
Like she's not willing negative stuff to happen. It just kind of does.
Spotlights it or something.
That's how I remember it. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If only Delvin was actually here.
Yeah.
And I'd agree with whatever he had to say.
Yeah. And I know, like you said, we're kind of second introduction to the Black Cat. So we're getting to know her, and they must have said, oh, wow, everybody liked her. So let's, bring her back and do this bigger story for her and start to tell a little bit more about who she is and what's going on with her. So interesting. I just find it interesting, as you look back to see the development of this character. Jason, you got a high, low, or what the?
We'll go with a high coming out of the gate. I thought the action sequence right from page 1 was entertaining. Spider-Man chasing the thugs in their getaway van. And I like how he stopped them by literally webbing that axle, just ripping that axle off. The visual of that was really cool. So it was a good intro to the story, which hooked me right from the get-go. So I'll use that as my high.
I agree with that. It was a good opening scene for that. And with that, I think there's still some good character development happening in this issue, even though the main story is about the cat and Peter. And I like how conflicted Peter is and how he kind of, I don't want to say gets starstruck or, likes her, but is having problems going, well, she's kind of a bad person now, and I got to stop her from doing this, but I don't want to.
But those thighs, is Delvin. Thighs.
And she's giving it to him right back, too. And, she's talking to him about, his junk in his trunk and,
Yeah, she's a boy. Yes. I think there's a little fatal attraction stuff going on here.
Well, Mary Jane's out of the picture and, Peter's on the move. So Peter's got to do what Peter's got to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll go around one more time. Jarrod, you got another high, low, or what the?
Pat, before I get into my next round, it just occurred to me, I just remember that the Black Cat's original bad luck powers were imbued by scientists working for the Kingpin through a bargain that was made with him. Later on, those powers will get removed by Doctor Strange, and Felicia will seek some help from the supervillain Doc Trauma, and she'll graft cybernetic enhancements to Felicia's body, giving her those bad luck powers once again.
Man, your knowledge is unparalleled.
I just came up with that off the top of my head.
Wow.
A little more about this. This power allows her to subliminally affect probability fields. So Jason was right. It's a lot like Longshot, opposite Longshot, if you will, which would cause improbable but not impossible events of bad luck to occur to enemies within her line of sight.
Interesting.
As she becomes more ruthless, her bad luck powers become more effective. Ooh. This power also affects magic in that it lowers the probability that a magic will even affect her. Just off the top of my head.
That's very
good nemesis for Doctor Strange, then.
Yeah.
All right, back to the story at hand. I'm intrigued by the turn of the lovable Robbie Robertson.
Yeah, that is odd.
It is odd. Like, is the pressures of the Bugle, did they make Jonah who he is? Because they're starting to make Robbie who Jonah was. I definitely want kind, loving, fatherly, Morgan Freeman-esque Robbie Robertson back.
Yeah.
Spider-Man crawled through 100 yards of to get his freedom. And he remained clean.
Came out clean on the other side.
Do you guys know who this Jonas
Hera?
Yeah.
No. And I think I know where you're going with this, Pat, because I was wondering that as well. Is he manipulating this? Is he having some effect on Robbie as well? Or is this just the pressures of the Bugle getting to Robbie? Because, boy, J. Jonah Jameson is really going through something, and it seems like this Harrow guy has something to do with it.
Yeah.
How deep does this go? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested to find out all these that little side story going on.
Well, most people don't know that Jonas Harrow's first appearance was Amazing Spider-Man 114 in November of 1972. He's a disgraced surgeon. He began his unconventional surgery to give powers to people like Hammerhead and Kangaroo.
Oh.
After these failures, he implanted a device in the brain of Will-O the MFing Wisp in order to force him to participate in his master plan, which wasn't further explained. So I think we have run into this cat before.
Oh, okay.
Knew that name sounded familiar. That
Will-O
was
the MFing Wisp, baby. He's back. You remember when I used to do that with the movies and you guys said to knock that off?
Yeah.
I understand why now.
Oh, the order still stands, though.
Wow, that is very interesting information that is just brought to us. Wow.
I do what I can do when I can do it.
Definitely. Well, with that, I am intrigued more to find out where we go with this story. And how about that story with Peter and Flash setting him up? What do you guys think of?
That was going to be my other high. I think that was interesting because it really shows Spider-Man progressing throughout the story arc. Flash and Peter start off as nemesi. I don't. Nemesis. At odds with one another. Yeah. And now they're friends. And Flash is doing his best to set his buddy up, get his buddy back in the game. And, the old Parker luck still is in effect, though. He's on the one hand, he's got the woman of his dreams potentially. On the other hand, turns out she's going to be a student because he's progressed. He's now a grad school student / teacher. So it's interesting to see their lives move forward and develop. So I like that. I thought it was quite charming.
I was hoping it would last a little bit longer. It's like, if you're going to do something, Pete, you got some time before class on Monday or whatever.
Yes, sir.
That's right. Tell her she gets a D. D's nuts.
Yeah. Or at least, she could have played it off like, hey, later on told them, oh, by the way, I'm in your class tomorrow. Instead of just telling them right away. It's like, come on, play that out a little bit. Let's see where it goes. Poor Pete. Well, do you guys have any extra high, low, or what does for this issue?
I think you covered pretty much all of mine. I thought the fights between Peter and Black Cat were pretty good. But other than that, I think we hit the highlights for this issue.
Yeah, I think it went by pretty quick of a read. The action between the fights was well done. The artwork was well done as well, too. So all in all, a pretty solid outing in this issue. And we got some stuff to look forward to the next issue. With that, let's go ahead and get to our silly Spidey moment. What did you find as your silly Spidey? Jason, what's your silly Spidey for this issue?
I think, and I hope it's funny, I hope it's not nefarious, but I laughed out loud with Robbie at, in the captain's seat, so to speak, at the Bugle, and all of a sudden he's feeling the pressures that J. Jonah Jameson has felt, and he's turning into J. Jonah Jameson, and then in the end he realizes it.
Yeah.
I just thought that was kind of funny. There's an old Roman saying that says, I'm paraphrasing, but says, everybody thinks they make a better captain when it's not their hand on the helm. And so I think, his hand's on the helm now, and maybe now he's starting to understand his friend a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought it was funny.
It's the old, walk a mile in my shoes and see where it goes. Jarrod, do you have a silly Spidey?
I do. I don't know how intentionally silly it was supposed to be. It was on content page 7 after his first run in with the Black Cat, and he's sort of having a discussion with himself. He's like, so the Black Cat's still alive. I don't know whether to be sorry or happy. There's something about her that's so blasted attractive. I think I know what it is about her that's so blasted attractive.
Yeah.
She's super attractive. Peter couldn't figure that one out in his head. There's something about her that's so blasted attractive. She's sexy as all get out, Peter. Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
I was thinking during that fight, remember that the movie 21 Jump Street when the guys fight with the...
Are we going to make out?
Are we making out or are we fighting?
You gave me kiss me eyes. No.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one. Mine, of course, is always when he says those funny words.
Bunky, right?
Bunky, yeah.
Bunky.
You got me paying, Bunky.
I saw it. I was like, oh, Pat's going to pick this one.
I was like,
right away.
there's a Bunky.
The minute he said it, I'm like, oh, you got a good smile from me on that one. I still don't understand it. What were they thinking? What was Marv thinking, Bunky? I mean, was that a word back?
Yeah.
I mean, what was that a saying that were the kids throwing that out as lingo back then?
I think it might have been.
I don't want to look it up on the web either, just to find out, like, was this a word that they use? And, because I don't want to be disappointed, I guess.
Look it up on Urban Dictionary. It just says, if you use this, you're old as F, really.
Yeah. Like, oh.
Okay.
But, hey, it's the new year for us here, so maybe I might start using Bunky a little bit more. I know I've said it before, but you know what?
We're bringing Bunky back, baby.
I'm the new Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing Bunky back. Yeah. Bunky back. Yeah. All right. They're bringing back that Bunky Cole Medina. But all the Marv Wolfmans run to my house for that Bunky Cole Medina.
Ow!
Oh, well, with that, let's go ahead and get to the rating for this issue. As a reminder, it's a 1 through 5 rating. 5 is you loved it. It tickled your tummy feathers. 4, you really liked it. 3, liked it. 2, didn't like it. And 1, you hated it. It ruffled your tummy feathers. Jarrod, 1 through 5 for this issue.
Joe November was here. I think 3-5. He's not. So I think I'll go to the 4. I think there's enough, with the Robbie storyline.
Yeah.
A couple good matchups with the Black Cat, Pete and Flash. Really good opening action scene. I'll go 4 on it. I'll bump it up.
I think I'm with you on that 4. Definitely for the story development that are happening, along with the action with the cat. And I think I'm really interested to see the next issue to find out what happens. And maybe we'll get a little more detail about the cat as well.
Folks, we got a little update for you here from LBC headquarters. As we were recording this, Weasel Skull's power went out. He has no power whatsoever. He's the opposite of He-Man. He does not have the power. We suspect Circuit Breaker Trip, Treetop Tommy, but we can't prove anything. So I guess we won't be getting Jason's thoughts or his score on the Spider-Man issue. If we get him back later in the show, maybe we'll check in with him. But for now, Pat and I have both scored at a 4. So boom, boom, laka, boom, 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 laka, boom, 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 laka, boom, woo. So it's a 4 for us, and hopefully Jason will be back later in the program. And believe me, Pat, I think that brings us to the end of this part of the show.
It does.
If you got a question or comment, you can send us an email at contact@longboxcrusade.com or make a comment on the Twitter, Instagram, or the Facebook page. And of course, you can call us at 707-532-5269. That's 707-532-LBOX. And we will be right back. Pick up the phone.
Between the golden age of Atlantis and the rise of recorded history, there were ages undreamed of. Hither came heroes and villains possessing swords and magic, whose deeds became tales and legends. I have come to relate these sagas. Let me tell you of the days of high adventure. Days of High Adventure, a new podcast discussing a variety of comics that fall into the fantasy or sword and sorcery genre. Available on most podcast services and Anchor FM.
Welcome back from the break. Now let's get to the second featured comic for this episode, which is determined by our Crusader Club members. Club members get to vote on this segment using the online poll available only on the LONGBOX Crusade page at patreon.com. As always, we want to thank our Crusader Club members for voting to help determine the programming for this show. If you want to get in on the voting and all the other amazing benefits of being a Crusaders Club member, just head on over to patreon.com and search for Longbox Crusade. You can join for as little as $1 per month and help determine what each episode's second feature will be. For this episode, the Crusader Club members selected X-Men number 133. So credits for this issue were provided by Mike's Amazing World of Comics website. Publisher was Marvel. Cover date was May 1980, but its on sale date was February 19th. Cover price is 40 cents. Editor is Jim Salicrup. Writer Chris S. Claremont.
Esquire!
Yeah. Plotter and penciler is John L. Byrne. Inker Terry Austin. Letterer is Tom Orzakowski. And the colorist is the Color Me Bad colorist Glennis Wee. I'm glad we always at least have some Glennis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not
I
a double.
thought they were slowly trying to wean us off it.
Oh. I see what you did there. Wow. You are a very funny guy.
Jason and Delvin are gone. You gotta step up.
Well, you can read along with us in reprints in Uncanny X-Men trade paperback, Classic X-Men number 39, Essential X-Men volume 2 trade paperback, and the Marvel Masterworks volume 40, Uncanny X-Men volume 5. Cover credits go to penciler John L. Byrne with inker Terry Austin. And speaking about the cover, let's have Jarrett give us a cover description.
Well, before I get into the cover description, I'd like to remind everyone that this is the Back in Time episode of episode 60. We started with no Delvin since he was the last one to join us. And now we've gone back in time to the time before Jason. And it's just Pat and I at this point. So if you ever wondered what the original days of the program were like, wonder no more.
Just the two of us.
We can make it if we
try. We're building castles in the sky.
Well, let me go ahead with your cover description. The Marvel Comics Group banner is red with black letters. The teal green corner box holds the heads of Wolverine, Colossus, Storm, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler. The Uncanny X-Men logo is yellow with red highlights, and the main action features Wolverine just laying waste to a bunch of the red and blue clad henchmen of the Hellfire Club. The cover box reports all of the X-Men have fallen before the might of the Hellfire Club, all except one. Wolverine lashes out. And what it should say is Wolverine lashes out for 6.25 out of 17 story pages. That's 37% of the story. The rest is horseshit. And I'm still unclear on why this era of X-Men is so highly regarded. Back to you, Pat.
All right. I didn't think you were going to go right into it right away in the cover description, but
I killed myself.
I can see your X-Men fandom really coming out here.
Oh my gosh. Get the gas and the matches, Pat, because it's starting already.
Man, I wish Jason was still here. Anyway.
He would be flipping out right I'm so glad they haven't told me are off now because I would not have gotten away with all this.
The shenanigans and your tomfoolery that you got going on here.
I've got a rogue, Pat.
Help me. Somebody help me. If you ever want to be a part of the Crusader Chronicles and help us out when in need, I'm desperately looking and seeking backups.
You can call Pat at 707-532-5269.
I don't have it in front of me right now. Just pick up the phone and call me. Well, Jarrett, why don't you give me your cover thoughts now that you gave us the description? Let me hear your thoughts on the cover.
It's actually quite good. I mean, the cover looks really, really, really good. It's a sharp cover. I mean, it's got a lot of energy. It's totally focused on Wolverine. They cram a lot of people getting their butts kicked by Wolverine onto the cover. I like the color continuity between the corner box and the boxes that they're fighting in. Good use of black in the top half. Yep. It's a real strong cover.
That logo really stands out.
Yeah, the logo pops like crazy. This is a cover that I spotted slabbed and graded at a comic book store a couple years back. And I was able to cut a pretty good deal with the store owner, and I picked it up, even though I'm not an X-Men fan, but I knew Jason was, and Jason loves the Wolverine. And I was like, if he may already have the issue, but like, it might be nice to have a nice slab graded, because this is one you would hang on your wall, Pat.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, your thoughts, sir. Your thoughts.
I totally agree with you on the color combination on this. Like I mentioned before, the uncanny X-Men logo that's there now really pops on this page. The only thing that freaks me out is those guys in the mask.
Yeah.
Those masks are really kind of creepy to me. Because it does give you a creepy vibe. Like, there's something that when I see that, I don't know if there was a movie or something that kind of has that kind of a creepy mask in it as well, too. And it's just, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that sort of nondescript.
Yeah.
Almost Michael Myers from Halloween's nondescript face. Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah, it just, yeah. Ooh, every time I see these guys, I'm like, these guys really creep me out. But it's interesting to see that they're, part of the Hellfire Club. They're henchmen that they use. So I find that very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys, I thought they were robots at first.
The face, the face makes you kind of,
yeah.
And then they start giving each other names. But let's get into that into the story development.
All right.
But definitely on the cover, I really like how Wolverine stands out with his yellow against the greenish background that's happening. Man, just the art on this is really amazing. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since we've talked about our thoughts on the cover, let's find out our ratings on it. It's a 1 through 5 rating for this cover. 5 is you loved it. It gave you a ring to swing from. 4, you really liked it. 3, liked it. 2, didn't like it. And 1, you hated it. It turned you into a baby. Just you and me, Jarrod. What do you rate this cover?
Well, Pat, like I said, this is a poster-worthy cover. And while I may be having my issues with these issues, although I like the last one, I think I gave the last one a pretty good mark for story.
I think so.
I don't want to let that, my problem with the story of this issue, intrude on the cover. This is an outstanding cover. I would call it borderline iconic. Pat, you know how we're on G.I. Joe Chronicles and we talk about some covers? We do a 1 to 10 there. Some are a 10 if you're a Serpentor fan or if you're a so-and-so fan.
Serpentor, yep.
Yep, sorry, I said it wrong. Like this is like if you're a Wolverine fan.
Oh yeah,
this is the maximum score, which would be a 5 for the show. And I'm feeling it. So I'm going to give it the 5. I think this is a great cover. Borderline iconic, poster worthy, hanging on the wall. Burns, killing it. The colors are great. Good balance. Yeah, I'm going to give it.
Man, I'm kind of stuck. You're kind of selling me. You're selling me. I'm on the 4. And
I'll be honest with you. I was at a Joe November 4.5 at the beginning. Yeah. Then I was like, it goes back to that G.I. Joe thing. Like, are you a Wolverine guy? And if you are, I think it'll get you to a 5. And if you're not, you'd probably be at 4. So make the call.
You know what? I'm going to be a 5. I'm going to be a Wolverine guy.
Woo! Everybody get up!
Wolverine guy. Woo! Everybody get up now.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'ma make you get down.
Only 2 of us. There's only 2 of us. Oh, it's so nice.
Oh, all right. Well, with the cover out of the way, let's go ahead and get to a story synopsis. Since Jason isn't here, Jarrod.
I'll do my best. There's going to be big words in here.
Yeah. This was written by Jason.
Yes.
Spoken by Jarrod Elbrick, the yard sale artist.
I'll do my best.
Cyclops, Storm, Banshee, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Colossus, Children of the Atom, students of Charles Xavier. Mutants, feared and hated by the world they have sworn to protect. These are the strangest heroes of all. These are the X-Men.
Stan Lee presents The Uncanny X-Men.
title of this is Wolverine Alone. The problem is that he isn't. Alone, that is. After a promising start to the story where Wolverine lays waste to a squad of Hellion thugs, I guess they're called Hellions, we begin to transition all over the place. First, we encounter the main hall of the Hellfire Club where the Inner Circle is holding the X-Men prisoner while simultaneously scheming amongst themselves. Next, we hop over to Muir Island where Sean Cassidy and Moira McTaggart discover that Jean is really dangerous. That's it. But wait, there's more. We jaunt over to Arizona where Professor X and Angel have a discussion about why the professor sucks so bad. These are Jason's words, not my words. After another quick Wolverine fight tease, we go back to the captured X-Men where it's revealed that Jean and Scott recently implanted a mind link with each other. That sigh was mine, as true lovers are wont to do. Well, we all know that mind links lead to mind fights. And Scott finds himself in a psychic duel with Jason Wingard, which he loses and apparently dies. At least the Wolverine scenes were cool. The end. And I have to agree with Jason so hard on this. It's ridiculous.
I was going to say, whoa, you guys are...
Man, we're seeing eye to eye.
Yeah, interesting on that. Well, there is a lot in this issue to talk possibly about.
I just thought something. With just me and you here, let's just get to the next part of the show and hope that Jason doesn't rejoin us by then. First read or reread.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, let's get to the bric-a-brac for this issue. Is it a first read or a reread? And
it's a first read or reread.
It's a first read for me as well.
Reading Rainbow.
Double rainbow.
Double Rainbow. Oh, it's the best show ever.
I love it. Ooh.
Oh, man.
Oh, I wish every day was like this. Well, now here's the part that I'm dreading. We'll see, though. High lows and what does. Because, I really know how you like your mindscapes. So I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this. So, do you have a high, low, or what the for this issue, Jarrod?
I guess we'll just get it out of the way early, Pat.
Okay.
We'll give it the low. Another gosh dang mind fight. And not even a really cool mind fight. It's like, I don't know, Pat.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you about is this one's different from a previous one we saw, right? Where with Proteus and with Professor and things like that.
Yeah.
Your typical ones that you don't like where they kind of put you into a different astral. Well, they go to the astral plane here, but you know what I mean. This one is kind of kept really white and just the action is between Scott and Wingard.
Oh, John Byrne was loving these panels because he didn't have to do a lot of background work.
Mm-hmm. Which I thought was pretty cool because I thought that really just kept the eye focused on what was happening in the story.
Oh, yeah. I'm not dissing him or saying it was bad or anything. Like, it helps you realize, hey, you're in a mind fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. What is it about a mind fight that you don't like?
Same reason I don't like Proteus. There's no grounded rules.
But it's comics.
It's just whatever you want, whenever you want it. And I just don't like Proteus. I don't like any character who can I can literally do whatever I want, whenever I want it. Cause there's just no rules. Like there's no reason Proteus should lose to anybody ever. I mean, if he can just instantly change reality, and that's why I don't really like mind fights. It's like, small exception. There was a mind fight in one of the X-Men movies. The James McAvoy Professor X fought, I want to say it was Apocalypse in his mind. And that was kind of cool because it was like the physical manifestation of two mental powered beings in combat. And it was like, whose mental power is stronger type of a deal.
Okay. Yeah.
And I can kind of buy that one. But when it's like this, now we're in 17th century, blah, blah, blah. And I'm a swordsman. And we're going to it's kind of clear to me that just the creators just wanted to have this swordsman duel. I don't know, Pat. It's just not for me.
See, and I dug it. I thought it was really cool.
And that's fine. I get it. I get why people like it. So people like fantastical You know, you like fantasy better than me.
Yeah,
overall.
that's true.
You know, you
That's
like
true.
sword and sorcery better than me overall. I guess I'm more of a grounded storyteller. You know?
Okay.
Says the guy who wrote Hamilton versus Burrow Werewolf Tale. But it had rules, Pat. There was rules involved.
What do you think then, like the Matrix? See, I consider this kind of
Now, see,
Matrixy.
I can dig on the Matrix because they also established the rules. You know, it's in a fixed rules program, and Neo's whole thing is that he's basically hacking the rules, which allows him to bend reality's life. But they don't let him recreate everything. Like, he can bend the rules.
Mm-hmm.
He can't really all out now. Well, maybe he can out now, but I haven't seen the latest one.
Yeah.
Like, he never could truly break them, but he could bend them to his will. And I thought that was kind of cool. And it was well explained to me what parameters we were working in. So I was okay with it, especially in the first one. Second and third movie, they get a little loosey-goosey with it, and I wasn't so big on it. But at least I had a good like, this is just like, hey, we met in your mind, and whatever, you know?
Yeah. Well, okay, let me, as I'm trying to sway you into liking mind or liking mind stuff.
It's not
like
going to
that.
happen, but I appreciate your efforts.
Using what I can, holodeck.
Holodeck. Again,
Kind of same concept, I would think, right?
I understand the rules of the holodeck. Yeah, it's a little more of an anything goes type of a deal. But again, I understand that it's completely a program. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to, help you warm up to these.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you this much. When it comes to Star Trek, Next Generation was sort of the big holodeck user.
Yeah.
I much prefer the stories that take place in reality than the stories that take place on the holodeck.
All right.
I mean, I get it. It's like a cool device that writers can go to. Like, what if Data was Sherlock Holmes? And I saw that one, and it was fine. It's an escapist opportunity for the writers, and I get that. But I prefer pew 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 lasers in space. It's just me.
All right. Well, I guess there isn't changing your mind on that.
I'm just gonna be that guy.
I tried.
I am gonna be that guy,
and that's all right.
I think the biggest problem with this one, Pat, and I guess we're not really doing highs, lows by the formula. It's just me and you. It's like the old days. I think my biggest problem with this is I'm already not keen on mind fights, right? Not my thing. And last episode just had me so jazzed with that last panel and Wolverine. Now it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a classic panel. I'd seen it before. Like, and my blood was pumping. Like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. I could have used a little more Wolverine action in this one.
The way they set it up should have been an all Wolverine issue with maybe I'll give them 2 pages of
typical Spider-Man
elsewhere.
Style. Yeah, typical Spider-Man style.
Style. Yeah.
Yep. Here's a page of this and a page of that, and
they should have let this be the Wolverine off the chain. Wolverine saves the day because he's an unstoppable fury force. It should have been his moment. They teed it up as his moment in the last issue, and they didn't deliver.
I do see some character development being done here with Wolverine. You get, I'm the best at what I do, and you kind of get that verbiage that's in here that kind of grows in the character. His sneakiness, his just, his raw power to just do what he does. But yet he's also learning to hold that self back too.
And interesting you say power too, because early on it's kind of a thing where he gets shot and by a machine gun or something. And you're like, oh, if I hadn't moved to the side, that would have cut me in half. And it's like, this is definitely early Wolverine, because modern Wolverine would have taken all those shots and just kept right on coming and not have cared one bit.
With the healing factor up.
Yes. I was like, they make like a big deal. Luckily, I twisted to the side. I'm like, Wolverine doesn't need to twist to the side.
But that's what I find interesting about going back and rereading these is, we know how he develops, down the road, or, what his skills are later on. And just to see the early developments of him is really cool. Kind of like the Black Cat too.
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely feel the writers trying things out. Like you said, the verbiage was there about best there is at what he does.
Yeah.
But I really thought, Pat, at the end of the last issue, I thought this is the Wolverine's coming out issue.
That's what I thought too.
This is where we're going to kind of meet modern day Wolverine, and we didn't.
Yeah. No, I think, Jason said it well in his synopsis that, we're going to get to Wolverine. Nope.
Kind of.
Yeah. But, this is a Claremont story, so there's a lot of stuff that he has moving around here. A lot of plot stuff that's going on. This has been a big plot with the Hellfire Club, the Inner Circle, all these guys. This has been a long developing plot, and I know where this somewhat is going with as we get to the Dark Phoenix thing. Maybe that's what I find it really interesting to see that story develop here as we're going through it. And just that slow burn, so to say. And speaking about burn, the art in this, man.
Killer.
Yeah. Well, so even when they go back to the old century like that mine fight, it's still the artwork is really cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Byrne and Austin, they're never going to disappoint. Ever. Even on their B days, they're better than most people on their A days. So, yes. I want to point out something interesting that piqued my interest as I was reading it. Would you be willing to go with me to content page 15? It's right after the round 1 of the mine fight. It's Wolverine. And at the beginning of it, he grabs the guy whose gun is pointed to his head.
Sure.
Okay. First of all, there's 2 things I want to talk about on this page. First of all, Wolverine. Again, early in his career, they haven't fleshed him out yet. Let me ask you something, Pat. Are you sneaking up on Wolverine?
Oh, he's going to smell you.
Oh, he's going to smell you. He's going to hear you. That dude ain't sneaking up on no dang Wolverine. All right. But again, Pat, we're in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I can let it go. They haven't fleshed that out yet. Check this out, though. At the bottom of the page, bottom left corner. Back, everyone, back. Let security handle this. Another costume maniac? What's happening here? Where's the Secret Service? At all costs, Senator Kelly must be protected. Okay? So are you like me? Do you assume the man in the purple vest in the center of the frame is Senator Kelly? Because I do.
No.
No?
Looking at the way it's being talked about, I think the guy with the black hair and the white bottom is Senator Kelly.
Black hair.
Next to the guy that's talking the words.
Okay. So you're saying the guy who the back of his head is to us.
Yes.
Okay. I'll buy that.
It could be. I don't know for sure.
I'll buy that. But here's where I'm going with this, Pat. I looked it up because I was like, is this the first appearance of Senator Kelly?
Okay.
And I looked it up. And we're in issue 133. I think this is.
Mm-hmm.
His first appearance, according to Marvel, is 130.
Can I guess? Can I take a guess?
Go.
I'm going to say below 100.
Oh, no. His first appearance is 135, according to Marvel. 2 issues from now.
Oh, interesting.
And that's why I was like, but isn't that him? Wouldn't this be his first appearance? So I thought it was the guy in the purple vest. You think it's the guy whose head is turned back of his head to us. Either way, if one of those guys is Senator Kelly, then this is his first appearance.
Interesting now. Huh. I thought it was.
I do know that there's such a thing as first appearance and first full appearance because like Wolverine himself.
Sure.
181, everybody says it's first appearance. I've owned both 180 and 181. He's in the last panel of 180. So technically Incredible Hulk 180 is his first appearance. He's in the last panel.
Mm-hmm.
But they credit his first full appearance as 181.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of that similar thing. I think we're looking at the Incredible Hulk 180 of Senator Kelly.
Okay. Well, I'm interested to find out now too, because I thought he was around, has been around for a little while, obviously.
Yeah, I looked it up just because I felt like I was like, is this the first go around? Because we've had a lot of those lately with Dazzler and Kitty Pryde and White Queen. And
yeah.
So I looked it up to see. And yeah, apparently his first, I guess, full appearance is going to be in 2 issues from now.
Interesting. Since we're in this kind of panel and pages, come on, Wolverine is getting beaten down by
guys with sticks.
No.
But again, we got to do that whole early Wolverine filter because no, that guy shouldn't have snuck up on him. Yeah. And no, 3 guys with sticks.
Well, and he says, I'm going to take it easy on. Okay, once you start noticing that they're not taking it easy on you, you can't do a little something more.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, this is like when we read the Spideys and like the regular street gang guys get the drop on Spidey. And it's like, no. No. But hey, again, early on.
Yeah. I still, man, those people in those masks, they freak me out.
Yeah, that's good old-fashioned nightmare fuel.
Yeah, I'm going to have nightmares now, thinking that I'm going to be attacked by these hellions with those creepy masks on. Oh, man, I don't want to see them anymore. Anything else, Jarrod, on this issue, story-wise, art-wise, plot-wise?
I just have to agree with Jason. Hit it right on the head with the synopsis. It should have been an all Wolverine issue. It wasn't. They took time out to visit other places that didn't even really matter. Like I think we could have really maybe used the cut to the Hellfire Club members and their inner little secret battles they're having. I think a page of that would have been fine. Moira McTaggart and Sean, I don't need it.
Well,
Angel,
I think
Angel and the Professor, I don't need it.
Okay, so Moira and Sean, she's the foreshadowing of probably what's to come with Phoenix.
Yeah, but I mean that's already been foreshadowing. It's extra foreshadowing, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I have joked about it somewhat in my cover description, but I am genuinely having a hard time because we've been on this Phoenix Saga thing a little bit now. And people
Yes, we have.
X-Men fans like Phoenix Saga, yeah. And I'm reading it for the first time and I'm going, I don't get, if someone was just look me in the eye and say, Jarrod, people love this because this is the Byrne Austin art run, I'd go, okay, I got it. Because it's gorgeous. But story-wise, I'm not saying it's terrible. He's Chris Claremont. He's a legend. But it just, it's just not there for me right now, man.
For me, I'm a story guy. So reading it, I'm digging it because it's that the build-up that's happening. And then you start laying in some other stories and get me start wondering, okay, what's happening there? Why is that happening? And it's just the laying down of that slow foundation that I love. It's the world building that's happening for me compared to some other things where it's just kind of quick and easy and they're in and they're out and you don't get a lot of that.
Okay.
Art wise, I'm totally down with the art. That to me is the icing on the cake.
Oh yeah.
But if you get some good story development and layering, at least for me, that's what work. And I can understand where it could be different for you being a creator, your story development and things like that. So you understand that a little bit deeper.
I mean, I have to look at myself in the mirror too, though, and say I kind of exclusively write one and dones.
Yeah.
And this is a long haul story. And I'll, if you're feeling that, Pat, I got it. And I don't mind a long haul story too. Kind of makes me feel almost like the, G.I. Joe with Larry Hama, just kind of, it's a long build over a period of time. And to me, this feels more like a roller coaster to me. Cause like I've had issues where I'm like, that's a strong issue. I like that. And then I've had issues I don't even finish. Yeah. And then this issue I would put in a category that I would just say is disappointing because I was just so ready for the Wolverine Unleashed.
Yeah. Well, I can see that.
I mean, I survived the mind fight. I saw it happen and I asked myself, am I going to keep reading? So here's what I did. Okay, let me just glance ahead. Okay, I'll be out of this mind fight in about 2 pages. Okay. And then I get back to Wolverine. And then they tricked me because they go back into the mind fight real quick again. I mean, it's too bad Cyclops is dead. He's like my favorite X-Men. Yeah,
that was a surprise to see that he actually took a sword. And with Wingard going, you think I was going to do this or that, but bro, I'm doing it. I'm like, whoa, that shocked me a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Never. I mean, Wingard, he's got the fashion sense of Prince. So you don't want to fight that.
No. Man, if I could have a nice ponytail like that with a little...
Dude, check out Sebastian. Just straight chilling in his smooth green robe.
Yeah.
Everybody else is wearing their fanciful outfits. He's like, I'm green robing it.
Yeah. Well, he was in that fight in the last issue where he totally came out of his clothing and was just totally shirtless. Ripped standing there and just like,
yeah. Now he's like, the last issue he pulled Rambo.
Yeah.
This issue, he chilled.
He's just straight up chilling on this one.
Yeah.
And not a bad last page, big splash page. And
no, it's gorgeous. I really like the color work in the background too. That's all Glynis.
Yeah.
Artistically, this era of X-Men is just amazing. So again, if somebody just looked at me and was like, Jarrod, people love the Phoenix Saga because the art's so good, I'd be like, okay, I got it. But the story to me just roller coaster.
Right.
Some good ones, some really bad ones, some ones that I'm just like, eh.
Well,
I
you know what?
We're going to get letters. People are going to call 707-532-LBOX.
Please do. Let us know.
Be mad at me.
Let us know. Maybe you can help me change Jarrod's mind. And you know what? I'm glad we've had this one-on-one conversation and talk, and we got to kind of understand a little deeper into Jarrod's soul and his mind.
I lost a mind fight to Chris Claremont. I think
you did. I was there.
Chris Claremont himself defeated me. But I'm also glad to get your perspective. This is working for you, Pat.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's perfectly cool. And I want to be very clear about that with our listening audience. If this is your wheelhouse and you love this and I'm just not getting it, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to be the Phoenix Saga forever. And I know that it's landmark. It may not be hitting me right, but it's hitting Pat right. And we're both newbies. So
yeah.
I'll stick with it. I'll stick with it. Again,
Good.
the art alone can pretty much carry this whole thing.
It is something really to behold, I think, in this. Really cool art. But with that, let's find out who went the extra mile in this issue. Jarrod, do you have a character that went the extra mile in this one? Kind of tough. You can't say Wolverine. I guess you kind of can. I mean, if you want to.
I wish he'd gone the extra mile. Yeah. And I'm gonna give it to Wolverine because he did the most. Everybody else stayed chained up the whole time. And even the villains didn't really move their ball forward. They just kind of stood around and chatted. So, I mean, it's got to be Wolverine. He's the only guy taking action. It's Wolverine. Even though it should have been Wolverine. It's Wolverine.
I can see you choosing Wolverine. Good points there, too. For me, I'm going to choose Scott.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I think he tried his hardest to figure out a way to get through to Jean.
I like that.
And he fought for her. He stood his mental mind groundscape against Jason Wynn. So I'm giving
That's a good point, though. Like a good leader, he tried to find a way.
Yeah.
And we'll see what comes of it.
We'll see what happens. I'm interested to see how he comes back from this. So, but my extra mile goes to Cyclops.
I like it. I'd like to give my extra mile to Wolverine in the last panel of last issue.
Going back to the art on this one, now that you keep mentioning it, there were some really nice just panels where it's like, oh yeah, that's Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
There's really some sweet panels of just Wolverine art in this, where it's like, oh yeah, those are those classic poses and things that you see.
I like
the one with he's got the fit and like, come on, buddy.
Yeah, though he's doing the fingers like, let's go.
Yeah.
He actually talked the guy into just dropping his gun. That was cool.
That was a good part too. So, now I got me thinking, I'm going to go with Cyclops, but that was a good moment. Definitely. All right. Well, let's get to some ratings for this issue. And as a reminder, it's a 1 through 5. 5 is you loved it. It gave you a ring to swing from. 4, you really liked it. 3, liked it. And 2, you didn't like it. And 1, you hated it. It turned you into a baby. Jarrod, your choice of 1 through 5. Did it bring you? Are you 2.5, 3?
I am feeling a 2.5. A Joe November 2.5. I'm going to give it the 3 because 2 is I didn't like it. If we had a column that said I was disappointed, that would be the one I would take. I think art wise and just enough of those Wolverine moments.
You made it through it.
I made it through. So it automatically gets a 2 because if I don't make it, it gets a 1.
Yep.
So it's already at a 2 just for getting through it. And I didn't hate it. And I just disappointed in it. It's a 3 with a sad face emoji after it.
Okay. And I am going to give it a 4. If I go, I'd be a 4.5 right now. I think it's the Wolverine was wanting more that was holding me back. So I really liked it. Again, I'm a sucker for this.
All right.
Don't give me that face. He give me like a sourpuss face.
I give you the gas face.
Yeah. The gas face. Well, with that, that's going to bring us to the end of this part of the show. You got a comment or a question? Send us an email at contact@longboxcrusade.com or make a comment on the Longbox Crusade Twitter Instagram, or Facebook page. You can also leave a voicemail that we just might play on the show. So leave us a message at 707-532-5269. That's 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone.
And we will be right back.
It is a time of chivalry and adventure. It is a world of magic and legends. It is a story of...
Are we there yet?
For the 20th time, no.
These two.
What are we going after again?
A dragon.
Are you sure? I thought it was a giant.
That's the beauty. It hasn't been decided yet. Queen of the Knights is a new production from Azir Voices, where you, the listener, choose what happens. Go to azirvoices.com. That's AESIR voices.com for all the details.
Oh, a kitty!
Did that cat just breathe fire?
Welcome back from the break. Now let's get to the feedback part of the show where we share your comments, emails, questions, likes, shares in a segment called Crusader Comments. As always, we're thrilled to kick off these comments with special shout outs to our Crusaders Club members. These are the fine folks who have joined our crusade, getting early access to those special LONGBOX episodes. I finished it. And voting to determine show content. Much like on this show, you can vote to what the second feature is going to be. So we appreciate those who do vote. And again, that's a Crusaders Club benefit. These are the folks reaping the benefits and giving so much appreciated support to the show.
And Helica Wolf.
Auburn Elvis.
Blast It or Stash It.
Braxton Underwood.
Captain Entropy.
Clinton Robinson.
Dave Collins. By the way.
Gary Viola.
Gerald Green.
Jason King.
Jeremy L.
Jim Jarman, Jim Jarman, Jim Jarman, Jim Jarman. I hope you like Jim Jarman too.
Ooh. Joe Thomas.
John Watson.
Jose Pollo.
Josh Principal Strickland.
Slacker. Maxwell Traver.
Michael Wagner.
Miranda W.
The MVP captivating Kathy Bright.
Paul Hicks.
P.D. Devins.
Rick from Jeff and Rick Present.
Rob Morgan.
Ross Michaud.
Ryan Daly.
Samantha Maney.
Sean Urbanski.
Spidey 67.
Steve Cronin.
Tim Price.
Tony Pennington.
Toronto Cop.
And if we missed anyone on our list, we apologize. Keep in mind that we record these episodes well in advance of release, so if you're a recent edition, we will add you soon. But still, no worries. Just let us know that we missed you by sending that email to contact@longboxcrusade.com and we'll get it straightened out. As a reminder, you can join those ranks and become a Crusaders Club member by going to patreon.com/longboxcrusade. For as little as $1 a month, you get access to the amazing world of the Crusaders Club and you make Pat happy.
Yeah.
So
you don't want to do that.
Who wouldn't want to do that?
Man.
Exactly.
It's a bargain. You can't beat that.
It is a good deal, Pat. And if you don't have any extra scratch laying around, but you want to help us out, maybe you take a moment to write a review for us on your iTunes. Oh, it says iTunes. I think they changed it to Apple Podcasts like 3 years ago. And we
keep saying it as iTunes. Yeah.
Anyways, write a review for us on Apple Podcasts. If you want to keep it simple, you can just do the star ratings. If you like, help raise the profile of the show. And hey, we're happy to share your review on an upcoming show.
And you know, Jarrod, we have gotten a lot. I was actually going and looking at if we had any new reviews so I could add them. Unfortunately, we don't right now, but man, would I love to see our reviews go up. We're 2 away from hitting a milestone on how many reviews for the show. We're right now at 48. So, man, if we can just get 2 more people to give us a review, that might bump us up.
Bump up to 50.
50. And then if we can get more than that, oh, man. So please take some time and give us an iTunes review. Like we said, even if it's just a star rating, it still definitely helps raise the profile of the show.
And we do love to hear from you.
Definitely.
All right, let's get into our social media likes, shares, and retweets from Crusader Chronicles, episode number 57, where we covered November of 1979, which included Amazing Spider-Man number 201 and X-Men number 130.
Aaron Head Moss.
Absolute artworks.
Arguara Sylvia.
Alvin White.
Angelica Fetty Wolf.
Bengals Ben.
Bill.
Carlos Lopez de Victoria.
Carmine Del Vecchio.
CB Dave.
Charlie Green.
Chris Sheehan.
Chris at BTO and Bat Books. Let it roll. Down the highway. Roll.
Jason. All right. Christopher Howlett.
Clinton Robinson.
Coffee and Comic.
Comic Reflections.
Danilo Dulé.
Dave Merck.
Days of High Adventure podcast.
Urbe Turhan.
Fan Film Fridays podcast.
Gary Bruce.
Gene Hendricks.
Glenn Peterman.
Jason Halsey.
Jeremy Spalding. Still love his balls.
Absolutely. Joe Crawford.
John These Nuts Knowles.
It's getting late. John Quattrocchiotti.
And I'll take an easy one. Kathy Bright.
Ken Solo.
Manuel Cañete Mendoza.
Max Traver.
Nathan Kelly.
Neil Piewarski.
Orlegario Martinez.
Paul Barant.
Philip O.
Rook.
Rick Heineken.
Robert B. Sanchez.
Ronald Caldwell.
Saul Lerman.
Sergio Visquera.
Tim Price.
You want to give me a beat?
All right.
You're on the beat.
Do a beat.
Here we go. Well, there ain't no packing like the unpacking power of the power. That's a pack. Like I said, the power, that's a pack. You can't unpack that word.
Not bad. Bernard Jeffries.
Walt Nealon.
Warlord Worlds.
And Zachary Carter.
All right, let's get into those comments. Our first one's from Unpacking the Power of Power Pack and says, I was with you up until Pat started talking about unhinging his jaw for a wiener.
Mm-hmm. More now that juice is still on my chin, Joe.
Okay.
It was a good one. I that was a good.
I forgot we did a whole spell of hot dog jokes on that episode.
Yes, that was.
As I wrote about Frank Castle. And remember how long it took me to remember why?
Yes,
because we'd written it like 5 weeks before we recorded, and I couldn't even remember. Anyway, a lot of hot dog jokes last episode.
Yeah, it was a fun time. A lot of jokes were some really good wieners out there. You had a lot of good ones. Anyway, I'll take one from Tim Price, and Tim says, I really relish that Spider-Man cover description.
Oh,
Tim. More hot dog jokes.
And we got a comment from Edward Foy who said, Dazzler needs a new comic. I envision it with Dazzler as a washed-up pop star going on a Meet the Rock Stars You Loved nostalgia cruise for the cash and gets into superhero shenanigans along the way with a floppy vinyl-sided stapled in the middle. And as far as Longbox Crusade is concerned, that's approved.
Yep, I'm down with that. Love those little floppies that you used to get in either a cereal box or just whatever. And that'd be fun. Definitely. All right. Well, thanks for everyone for the likes, shares, follows, and comments. We appreciate your friendship and help in spreading the word about this show. And that's the show. Be sure to check out the website longboxcrusaderchronicles.blogspot.com, where posts will be made for journaling this crusade. I want to thank Jarrod, Jason, Delvin.
They get more and more questionable as we go.
It was a really strange episode, folks. But we moved on. Again, thank you, Jarrod and Jason, for joining me on this episode. Behind the scenes look, we were just getting back from our little break we had at the end of 2021, end of December.
Crusademas break,
yeah. Man, and I hope you enjoyed Crusademas, folks, because we definitely had a great time doing it.
Yes.
But we started getting back, and, this is how it goes. So, Jarrod, thank you for joining me.
It's my pleasure.
But before we go, let's find out where the listeners can find us on the internet. Jarrod.
Well, if you want to talk to Delvin, he's on Twitter at DEE_RAY1977, and Jason is at Weasel Skull. And if you want to talk to me, It's at Yard Sale Artist, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It's all Yard Sale Artist, or you can check out my art at theyardsaleartist.com. Pat?
Well, Jarrod, I'm glad you asked. You can find me on the Twitter at Christatos01. And if you want to interact with us via live chat and be entered to win some free stuff on our live raffles, join us on our next episode of Doing a Live Stream on YouTube, the second Sunday of every month at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Check out LONGBOX Crusade on YouTube, and please subscribe and hit the bell so you'll get reminder notifications of when we go live. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of Crusader Chronicles. You got a comment or a question, email us at contact@longboxcrusade.com or leave a comment on the Longbox Crusade Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter page at Longbox Crusade. Please also remember you can also send us a comment via a voicemail. And what number is that, Jarrod?
707-532-5269. That's 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone.
Hi, this is Jeff from Jeff and Rick Present, Unpacking the Power of Power Pack. And I just wanted to call to say, Pop Quizmas, hot shots! With me today are Jarrod, Jason, Delvin, and Pat. And I would like them to name me 4, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 people of the LONGBOX CRUSADE Network that I'm wishing a very Merry Pop Quizmas to. Merry Pop Quizmas, guys. I hope you have a really great time, and I hope that all of your holiday wishes come to you at the speed of a bullet. Speaking of bullets, hey, Rick, come here a minute. I got something for you. Bang.
Until next time, take care, and please join us on the next episode as we continue on the crusade to
read them all.
The intro music for Crusader Chronicles is provided by musical genius Joe November.
Check out his SoundCloud at JOSEFLIN99. You won't regret it.
All songs, song clips, and characters discussed are copyright of their respective copyright holders, and no infringement is intended. We are just fans that like to share our love of comics.
Outtakes.
Record and talk shop.
All right, we'll talk shop.
That way, if we say anything funny, you've got it.
Odds are low. I've been cursing Jason's name a lot editing today.
I wasn't bad.
Jason uses phrases like, well, I want to add real quick. No.
Shut your mouth.
His definition of real quick is shady as hell. Nah, it's not so bad.
Did you catch my episode of JLI with Shag?
I haven't listened to it yet, but I do have it.
All right.
Same. It's in my pile.
Just
I see where I like Pat's guest. And when Jarrod and you guys guessed on something,
your beeper's going off. Okay, calm down.
Settle down. We'll read it.
I will listen to this.
It's not reading. You listen.
Oh, sorry. We'll listen.
You know, you don't even. That tells me you're not even.
I actually did start it. I started it. I finished it.
I was trying to.
I think what happened was I got all caught up. I got all caught up in Crusademas, so I think it's halfway listened to. It came out right before or during Crusademas. I know that because everything got bumped to the curb. Like I was going to listen to Kathy's episode of Monday Movie Muckabout, and it's been on halfway since Crusademas started.
That's okay.
And also, I hate you.
Mm-hmm. That's what I figured. I figured it's that part, but you know, hate is another name for love.
Nifty 60.
Pick up the phone if you're 60 and alone.
Wow! Watch out!
Watch out!
Close.
Woo! We did it!
Woo! Nifty 60. Just people dropping like flies. We got a man down.
Oh,
you know the rules of the LONGBOX Crusade. If we have 2 or more, we're going. We're going.